All right, everybody, let's do a little tech tip here with the braid barf. What's the braid barf? That's when a whole bunch of braid just pops off your reel and a big old tangle shoots through your guides and kills your cast. I don't know what you call it, but I call it the braid barf. Stopped here today at this spot to have a snack, have some history with this spot right here. I had a hook bender right here off this point of this tree. It's dead now, but it was alive then. You can sneak the boat in, climb up above, and fish up there above the tree. I'm going to do that here in a second and demonstrate a couple things for you. But first I want to talk about the braid barf and what I do to avoid it. The best things I know to do to try to cut down on some of those. I don't think you can avoid it, but you can cut down on some of it. The first thing that I do is I just avoid those high arcing casts. You know, today it's pretty windy, it's gusty, it's calm right now, but you'll have some pretty good gusts. Those high arcing casts, you add a couple gusts with that, takes out twice the line of the distance you just casted, and now you try to reel all in that loose line and it just loops up really loosely on your bail. That's not good. Let's try to get more of a line drive cast out there when you can. It's easier with the jig, harder with the bobber rig, but shoot for the line drive casts, especially in the wind, when you can. Now at the end of your cast, I want you to close your bail quickly and have your hand on there and really stop the line from coming off as fast as you can. And let's throw this salmon fly in right here. See if he gets eaten behind me while I'm talking to you guys. Close that bail, pinch that line down, don't let any extra line off from the end of your cast. And that's going to probably deal with about 50% or more of your problems, maybe up to 75% of your problems, right? You can never do it effectively or all the time. So you do it when you can, and you really cut down on the extra line that you're laying out there and reeling in really loose on your bail, so you don't have 10, 20 rafts of loose braid on your bail. The last thing that I do, and this really helped out, I've been doing this a lot this year, is I just rip it out down river, just right out to the middle of the river, a nice big cast, and let it go out there, you know, as far as I can. I know I'm not going to hook up on the bottom, and then I just reel all that line in nice and tight. I might do that 2 or 3 times so I know I'm laying down 4, 5, 6 cast lengths worth of line out down the river really tight, on back on my spool really tight. Those 3 things right there are the things that I think are really going to improve your issues with the braid barf if you have braid barfing issues like I do. So when you consciously try to do that each time you're out, I think you'll have less tangles. The 4th thing is just, I think the Power Pro V2 Super Slick, if you can get that knot right off the bat and not send it out 5 times through your guides and reel it back, if you can get it the first or second time and get in there and really just open up those loops by pulling them out in every direction, and then just kind of hope you pull the right way and put the tension on it, you'll see that it pops out and comes up done. I've had pretty good luck with that this year, and when I went back to my my regular braid that I use on my the regular Power Pro that I use on my dry fly rod with the bobber you see out here, that's an older setup. I've got a big spool, a 300 yard spool of the 30-pound braid. I don't have that in the V2 Super Slick, so that one's a little tougher to deal with. So that's why I like having the thicker pound test braid, 30-40 pound test braid, because you're not fishing that, you're just using it as a line to deliver, and you're putting the floating on it and it really absorbs in. But because it is the braid without that slick coating, it doesn't slide in those knots, so you have a tendency to pull a knot tight and can't get it out. That's what happened to me when I first busted it out this year for this season, and I fixed it. I got a whole new spool of braid on there and some backing and everything. So those are the tips for the day. I appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out those tips and thinking about using them, because I'm selling you guys you know, you guys have been buying a lot of these fish finder jigs and some of the lighter fly stuff I use, and that's really at the limit of your rod, right, where it's on the light end of all the rods that we cast, and they cast perfectly and they cast far, but they're so light they're not pulling the line out very tight. And I've noticed over the years that I get the braid barf, and it's pretty frustrating. So hopefully those tips help you out and get you some more fish on the river. Now I'm going to step up right up here under this tree, put it back on the chesty, and show you guys put them all together and hopefully catch a fish. So stick with me. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick, you know, is there has been a lot of purchases at the store, and basically cleaned out my fish finder jig supply. I have a few packs left and I'm building up the new colors to sell. So here, right here, you can see one of the new colors I'm going to be having quite a few of. This is a 3/32 weight. I fished the blems. Hopefully you can see on there, the paint didn't get on the head of this one that good. So that one's a cull, you know, for the sail pile. You can see the wind or whatever, but this one here, take my word for it, the paint's a little off, and the way I wrapped that feather, I didn't like that. So it still catch fish and everything, still works just fine. It's just not something I want to put in the sail pile. But there you can see one of the new colors coming out. We've probably sold about, I'd say, 3 dozen or so, 3.5 dozen fish finder jigs of various weights. And we'll see some of the original colors and the new drop, but then you'll see some new ones if this stuff's interested you. Let's get through the tree. All right, there we are. Just that fat hair jig right in this seam right here. So it's kind of real short casts in here. Little guys are grabbing it. Right? So we're going to be casting into the wind, line drive cast, low to the ground, low to the river, flip the bail. It all happens fast. Kind of a shallow point there, then it drops off. Deep eddy. Fish it in close first. So here we go again. We're going to do a real line drive cast. Close that bail immediately. Very little line came out, extra line. Well, folks, I was just messing around here at the boat. I told you I had history with that tree right there, so I have to fish it. I let it calm down and came around. Another chubby one right here on that new color I just told you about. There's that green and brown. All right, right after you saw me catch that one on the green head, the new green head red eye fish finder jig, that tan and brown one, well, I managed to wrap it into the bottom and snap it off. So